Discovery.
Hello and welcome to Weekly Weird News, brought to you in association with Cutting Through the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben. As always, I'm joined by Mike.
Hello.
And Claire.
Hey.
This is basically a celebration of the weird shit we found over this last week. Let's jump into it.
Let's get into it, yeah.
QAnon supporters gather to welcome JFK Jr., who they falsely believe faked his own death and will run with Trump. Have you heard about the QAnon thing with JFK Jr.?
No.
Basically, he's the guy that's like, he's not dead. He's gonna come back and run with Trump in 2024, even though JFK was a Democrat.
Right.
But yeah, this is a bit mad. It is mad, and there's a postscript to this which I've seen.
So not the one that was shot in the head, no?
No, that's his dad.
Yeah. So right. Okay.
Now, QAnon supporters are gathering for an event in Texas on Tuesday at which they falsely believe JFK Jr. will reveal he's not dead and announce a 2024 presidential run with Donald Trump.
Do you know where they're gathering?
Where?
Where JFK was shot. Now, I'm really sure JFK Jr. wants to revisit that place.
Well, he would if he wasn't dead himself.
Well, yeah. If he was alive, why would he want to go there?
How did he die?
Plane crash.
He's not just going to come, ta-da, after all these years, is he?
He faked it.
Okay.
This is QAnon believe, remember?
I rolled my eyes as soon as I saw QAnon.
Pictures posted on social media appear to show scores of people outside the AT&T Discovery Plaza in downtown Dallas overnight on Monday, many of them wearing t-shirts displaying support for Mr. Trump. According to images shared by the journalist Steve Monticelli, publisher of the Protean magazine and a contributor to the Daily Beast and Byline Times, some of those present were dressed in political campaign-style t-shirts, emblazoned with the words, quote, Trump/JFKJ. Mr. Monticelli said a popular QAnon theory recently is that JFK Jr. of the Kennedy family will be making a big announcement at Dealey Plaza by the grassy knoll sometime tomorrow.
On the grassy knoll!
It's disgusting, isn't it? This is what they just said.
I know what his big announcement is. I was the shooter on the grassy knoll.
Oh, JFK Jr.?
Yeah.
He was a child though? He was like 4?
I'd rather believe that than this fucking shit.
They're just like creating these little sort of demonstrations to sell their
Yeah.
the t-shirts. Honestly.
Yeah, they're milking it for everything they can now.
Yeah.
Now JFK Jr. I was going to say that JFK Jr. I was going to the American side of things.
Yeah, you're from New Jersey.
He's from New Jersey. He's JFK Jr. As an American lawyer, he died along with his wife Carolyn Bessette and her sister Lauren in 1999 when a plane he was flying crashed into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Massachusetts. Now, obviously, he belonged to the eminent political family of the Kennedys and was the son of the 35th US President John F. Kennedy and First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy, later Onassis. His father, who was assassinated in '63, is also the subject of several false conspiracy theories related to his death.
Is he really?
Yeah, really? Nah, JFK is only the biggest... The JFK assassination basically spawned modern conspiracy theory.
It's got to have, hasn't it?
It did. It was the first one because nothing fit. Nothing still fits.
No. And those files that were meant to come out, I think we discussed this last week, didn't we? They've been put back. And
yeah. I still go for this subscription. He was shot accidentally by one of his own Secret Service guys.
CIA, fingerprints like that.
Well, Claire?
I think he was too radical and he wanted,
He was a threat to the CIA.
Yeah.
They wouldn't allow it.
Well, we'll get on to... We'll do it'll probably be like a 3 or 4 parter on JFK at some point.
Maybe we should wait till these,
these
files come out and so quick,
We'll do an emergency broadcast, won't we?
Oh yeah, but I've got to get into Oswald and his backstory, and I've got to go. He defected to Russia, and his tax returns are still still classified. Was he a patsy? Could he have hit the president at that distance, at that speed? Oh, with that rifle, who knows?
Wasn't it a really sharp rifle?
That's actually a bit of a misconception. There's nothing wrong with that rifle. It was a rifle. It did exactly what it said in the tin.
I've read pieces where ex-Marines have tried to fire from that building, and they couldn't get the shot.
Couldn't hit a melon or...
Carlos Hancock, who was the US Marine Corps chief sniper in Vietnam, the most successful sniper, couldn't reproduce the Kennedy shot that Oswald has, but he's managed to have scored 2 hits out of 3, including a headshot.
This is the best of the best, you know.
Carlos Hancock's the best of the best, and Lee Harvey Oswald was just a radar man.
Exactly.
It was JFK Jr. on the grassy knoll, I'm telling you.
A baby with a sniper rifle. There's no more dangerous combination in warfare. It's like a toddler with a sniper rifle. Now, some staunch believers of QAnon think that JFK Jr. is in fact alive and well and plans to make a return to public service and announce a tilt at the White House as Vice President on Mr. Trump's ticket, who has not yet announced a 2024 run, but is widely considered by many to be the favourite to win the Republican nomination if he does so, and yes, he probably will be.
But it's amazing, isn't it? This Q predictions didn't come true.
None of them have.
Yeah.
But they still believe it.
They brought the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to sum it up, QAnon, the wide-ranging conspiracy theory based on factually incorrect information that Mr. Trump is waging a secret war on the elite, Satan-worshipping paedophiles in government, business and the media.
I wish he were, because then I would support him. I'm saying that there are elite Satan-worshipping paedophiles in government.
You forget the lizard man.
Well, I'm not going that far.
It's interesting. See, there's an interesting postscript to this story that I saw. The Rolling Stones recently played a concert in Texas a couple of nights after this, and some of the QAnon people are outside that saying that Keith Richards is actually JFK Jr.
I've heard that one.
And Keith Richards has been there ever since the land before time, and let's face it, he was like the Garden of Eden, you know, Adam and Eve are there. Who's that guy? That's Keith. He was here before I got here. Guy's taken so many drugs he should be dead 3 times over. Can't kill a British rock star, can you? Not with drugs, anyway. Yeah. So JFK Jr. didn't come back, and he's not Keith Richards. And Donald Trump isn't waging a war on satanic worshipping paedophiles, Satan worshipping paedophiles. Well, certainly if he was, he should make that more known and we'd probably all vote for him. If we could. Because I'm not for Satan worshipping.
If he was doing that.
Because I think we can all agree that we're not for Satan worshipping paedophiles in government, business and media.
No.
So we'd probably vote Trump if he made that more clear. Moving on.
London underground graffiti vandal claimed he was creating a job for the person cleaning it.
As the fences go.
A graffiti vandal who caused over £130,000 worth of damage to the London Underground claimed he was creating a job for the person cleaning it. Bakari Adams, 33, was caught red-handed when officers discovered his favourite tag was the very same one tattooed on his knuckles.
Oh, you don't have that done. Just gives you away. Not the brightest paint in his box, is he?
He's been listening to that new music.
Oh, he has. He's been dumbed down.
Dozens of trains and stations were damaged by Adams, totalling 77 offences, all committed across the city railway system. British Transport Police officers started investigating the 33-year-old by 2016 by interviewing people who said they'd seen somebody trespassing on the railway, sometimes in the dead of night, and scrawling tags on trains and other property. When enough evidence was accumulated, Adams and a second man, 31-year-old Jake Martin, were arrested at their homes in December 2018.
Look, I don't think they should do it on the trains, but fair play. If you come in near a city centre on the train, there's nothing that says city like a tag, is there? And if I'm on that train and I didn't see that bit of graffiti, I think I'd be like a bit...
Well, it depends where I'm going. As I say, in a city, if I'm going into London on the train...
Birmingham. Wolverhampton, a bit of taggage about the place,
taggage,
you know?
Right. If I'm going into Shrewsbury, then no. I want Shrewsbury to be a quaint medieval town.
What about a big tag with a big O for Shrewsbury?
Oh no, I'd spit on it. I'd piss out the window to cover it every time.
something a bit classier. Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury.
With a big huge O right in the middle of it.
Fuck 'em. Fuck anyone who pronounces it that way.
130,000. So they're not just going to leave it there. Do they not see it as art at all?
Nah, because it's just his shitty tag. If it's Banksy, it's different, isn't it?
Well,
Claire's saying what's the difference between him and Banksy? They're both being creative.
Banksy's better.
Well, I don't know. I've not seen what he's done.
some of the, train stations are rather dowdy, dark, nasty, They could commission something really nice and help people that that are like this. They should have caught him and gone, look, do you want to do something quite productive? Make this train station look like X.
Well, if you had a decent free education system, we could have gone to art school.
Oh God! You're going to say, if Austria in the 1920s had a decent education system, Hitler would have been in art school. Could have changed him.
Yeah.
Let's go with this Hitler. Let him into art school.
So I like some of those murals at the side of buildings. You see, I don't know who's doing them, but they're being done, aren't they? But a tunnel with like somebody with their mouth open around the tunnel. Really clever art that makes. Turns your head, isn't it?
Yeah, makes it interesting. I'm not exactly against it. Depends what it is. I mean, if it's just obscenities and...
Yeah.
Or some dude's shitty tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do know what you're saying, he's being creative.
He is being creative. And, even though it's just his tag, you've got the blending of it, it's not
Who's
easy.
to say it's actually some shitly scrawled symbol?
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping it's one of these really big tags that blends from turquoise through to yellow through to green, and he's gone to town on it.
Oh, it's just like "fuck you up, bitch" written somewhere.
Fuck you up, bitch. Do one. Clean it
it's
off. Get your scrubber out.
FYUB. Scroll somewhere.
Get your scrubber out.
Well, you should clean it up anyway. Fuck him.
Okay.
Right, moving on. Bit more Trump.
Yeah, we're a bit Trump heavy this week, sorry.
Yeah. More of Trump supporters say that they've met werewolves, vampires or demons than Biden supporters.
Clearly none of the Biden supporters have met Joe Biden. Yeah. He's obviously some kind of creature of the night.
So, in a Halloween-themed YouGov poll of 1,000 American adults, 7% of the Trump supporters surveyed report having personal encounter with a werewolf in comparison to 1% of Biden supporters. Right, so I've just got to ask.
That just shows how polarised they are, isn't it?
Yeah, because if your supporter base believes in werewolves, they're going to be quite easy to trick.
Well, the fact that they claim they've seen more werewolves than Biden supporters means that they're not mixing with Democrats, are they? They're very polarised.
Yeah, because they're meeting with other people who've met werewolves.
Well, when did they, 1,000 people, when did they answer this? Were they drunk?
Hey, there's a political conference in the US, who knows?
I imagine it's probably online.
But some people might have just ticked yes for a laugh, innit? Have you seen a vampire?
It was a Halloween themed poll,
exactly.
So. Well, did they lie about the 1% of Biden supporters?
And why would it ask you just at the very last question? Are you a Trump or a Biden supporter?
Maybe.
It's a bit of a weird poll, anyway.
But then again, you could also look at a lot of Trump supporters. Some of the most hardcore ones are these evangelical types who fully believe in demons and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I suppose if you're interviewing that guy, like, oh, have you ever seen a demon? Yes, I have. I had one exorcised from my nan in 1993.
So despite Trump supporters apparently meeting more of the furry shapeshifters, Biden supporters are more likely to believe in the existence of...
Lycanthropes.
Lycanthropes. What are they?
It's a posh name for werewolves.
Oh, right, okay. 1 in 10 Trump voters said that they encountered a demon in comparison to 8% of Biden voters.
Fair enough.
Okay. When it comes to vampires, 4% of Trump fans said they've met Dracula in comparison to 1% of Biden supporters.
Hello, I'm Dracula. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Yes, I'm campaigning with Donald Trump. Yes.
And an equal number of Trump and Biden supporters say they have met a ghost.
20%.
20%. With Biden supporters claiming to have met a psychic.
Well, you can't meet a witch.
Oh, I can't believe that this isn't being taken seriously, no?
Nah, it's part of 1,000 people. It is like 1,000 idiots.
On Halloween,
yeah.
people just...
Yeah. Can I just point out that it's worth that your education level may also play a part in whether a person believes in ghosts, and Americans with a postgraduate education at least likely to believe in ghosts at 20% compared to 41% overall.
Still quite high though, isn't it? 28%.
I don't do ghosts.
I've not seen enough evidence.
No.
It's a blurry photo with what might be a face is not good enough for me, or a ghost penis.
Is that because you woke up with a ghost penis in your mouth? That one's...
Aren't we all?
No, Claire, you?
No.
No, just you,
Just
mate.
me.
Just you.
Bollocks.
That's... Just show you that people in America just... I think the demon thing is legit. I think the evangelical side, they're really into that shit, aren't they?
Yeah, and believing in that sort of thing.
Alright, well, I got them. A real-life Squid Game is taking place in Abu Dhabi. I mean, are they killing people?
Never. Oh, it'll be with, paintballs, won't it? Gotta be.
Alright.
Well, let's read and find out.
So, as the great Mark Fisher once said, I know who Mark Fisher is, there is no alternative to capitalism. This rings particularly true with the success of Squid Game, a show about a group of debt-ridden citizens who would rather take place in a murderous game show than succumb to capitalism's slow grind. Ironically, it's streamed on Netflix. Now, the Korean Cultural Centre in the United Arab Emirates is organising a Squid Game-themed event where contestants can take part in a series of Korean children's games inspired by the show. There won't be any killings or a $38 million cash prize, but the participants will be in for a chance of winning a coveted green tracksuit as worn by the characters on the show. You know, I was expecting Halloween to be all pink boiler suits and PlayStation face masks.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anyone as one.
I guess they haven't made them fast enough yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, that was literally going to be Halloween.
They did have a few. I saw two, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen more people as the, oh god, what was he called? The front man, his mask style. I've seen more of them, they must be easy to get hold of. So, taking place on October 12th, these games, it's a little bit old, better date, but no one died, so that's good. The games will be held in 2-hour tournament-style sessions, and to apply, applicants must fill out a form containing 3 questions related to the series. Participants will be dressed in t-shirts with the Squid Game logo, and the event staff will wear the pink circle, black triangle and square costumes worn by the show's game facilitators. In fact, there's been a surge in green tracksuits and white van sales since its premiere in last month.
That surprised me.
Netflix's highest ranking show in 90 countries, and it was good.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that it was like amazing because it's not an original idea. I think what it
is it not?
Nah, Battle Royale was a very similar thing. There's a few other shows that are similar that have been done before, but I like the Korean setting. The look of the show is what steals it, though, isn't the pink jumpsuits and the masks?
Yeah. Dubbing aside, it was alright, wasn't it?
I don't see dubbing anymore.
Don't you?
No, I've been watching that My Hero Academia anime, and after 5 seasons of that, I don't see dubbing anymore.
There was a lot of, I want to stab you in the throat!
Oh, they did change some of that particular woman, I know you're on about, the one that fucks the guy in the toilets
the old man.
as the cigarette's hidden in her vag. They changed some of her actual lines when they dubbed it, because it didn't sound right.
Right, okay.
If that makes sense.
Well, it didn't sound right as it come out.
No, it didn't, but her line should have been something... it was different in Korean than it was... That's the liberties they take with dubbing. Some stuff just doesn't translate, but even they've admitted that they pretty should have left her
I think the reason it was so successful is because people could relate to what they were going through in the real world, not in the game, obviously.
Yeah, because they were just average people, weren't they?
Once you get into a cycle of debt, it's very difficult to get out of.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't fucking gamble as well, though, should you?
That's an illness, so I'm not going to blame him for being
Not all of them were gamblers.
Yeah,
No, but the main character, he's like, he's got no money, but he's got enough to go down the gamble. He's got enough to go down the bookies.
It's an illness, mate, and it's like alcoholism.
What about the
I have nothing said against alcoholism.
What about the computer guy and the doctor? They weren't gamblers. They just got into it, didn't they?
Just because wages have been going down and they've been suppressed all around the world.
I heard that Sung Woo went to the prestigious Seoul University and finished top in his class of business. That should have been that show's catchphrase. The amount of times that was mentioned.
Yeah.
This is Sung Woo, yeah. Top of his class business, Seoul University. Sung Woo, oh yeah. Do you know he went to Seoul University, finished top of his class?
Yeah, but it's over in there, in South Korea, in the Asian countries, it's all about academics, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it should have been the show's catchphrase.
Yeah.
It should have been.
I'm assuming it's a really good university over there then.
Oh, Seoul University will be the most prestigious in the capital, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And you're finishing top of your class in business. He's a man for the future, Sung Woo.
Yeah. You got these people are in debt, and then we see these elite people, businessmen that
Twats.
have got billions. They don't know what to do with it, so they're gambling it away on
People's lives.
People's lives. It's
one of the best bits is when the old lady's like talking about her son. She just wouldn't talk it like the dubbing so bad. Just like, yeah, he's a lazy loser. Well, you would never say that about your kid, but because of the dubbing, she probably said something a little bit nicer, hasn't she? In her own language.
Nah, he's a failure. Southeast Asian culture, he's a failure, he's a chauffeur. He's a failed businessman. He's like Sung Woo, who finished off his class at Seoul University. In business, no doubt.
Moving swiftly on.
Okay.
Iranian man is sentenced to be blinded after leaving a man unable to see in one eye in a brawl. Eye for an eye, motherfucker.
That's not that weird.
He's going to be totally blinded.
You don't think that's weird?
Double eye for an eye, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, he says he's blind. Well, he's in Iran. I'm not that surprised.
Are you not?
No, not really, it's Iran.
It's a brawl.
Yeah, that's an Islamic thing, like Kizas, yeah.
Oh, you knew about that, did you?
I didn't know about that.
You did?
I knew it was a thing in Islamic law, yeah, that you know, like thieves have their hands cut off. It's like there's that kind of ironic punishment.
Yeah, but blinding someone just for...
Yeah, it just doesn't surprise me. It was... But,
Fair
you know...
enough.
But go on, please. I mean...
A court in Iran has sentenced a man to be blinded as punishment for leaving his neighbour unable to see in one eye during a fight.
It is a bit of a shitter, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. He's been sentenced under the country's legal principle of retribution known as qisas. They allow criminals convicted of violent offences to be subjected to a form of retaliation.
Well, shouldn't he just take the one eye out then?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
You know, the punishment's going to be more than the crime, hasn't it?
Well, we'll pop it out then.
They're going to Oberyn him, they're not going to like, oh, you don't understand Game of Thrones. They're going to gouge his eyes over their thumbs. He's probably going to be a red hot poker. Eyes out.
Oh.
Blinding has been used as a punishment before in Iran, although it is still considered rare.
It doesn't specify the defendant is blinded in one eye like his neighbour injured neighbour or both.
You'd think you want to know that, wouldn't you, when he's sentenced?
I'd like to know that.
Why you been blinded? It's just a one eye or two. Take him away. Oh, one eye or two!
Do I need to buy an eye patch or sunglasses? Get me a Labrador! Wow, that's interesting. Blinding was first handed down as a punishment by an Iranian court in 2008 when the defendant was sentenced for committing an acid attack. However, the victim pardoned the criminal at the last moment.
These people have got to live next to each other for the rest of their life.
Yeah. A similar incident took place in 2015
Winking at each other. He's winking at me. He's not. He's fucking blind from you.
Iranian doctors gouged the eye out of a convict who had also committed an acid attack. They gouged his fucking eye
It's
out.
fucking barbaric, isn't it?
Acid attacks are shocking bad, aren't they?
Yeah, they're terrible.
I don't even get how that started, you know. I hope it wasn't Jack Nicholson and a Joker in the original
it was
Batman
something
movie.
to do with, like, you know, that's what someone had to hand, wasn't it? And just didn't want one of, you know, someone he dated to be as pretty, or didn't want any other man to have her, so he threw acid over, you know.
Sick though, innit? It's just.
But then you're just perpetuating the violence, gouging people's eyes out.
Yeah.
Well, that's capital punishment for you, isn't it? You gotta. That's the way it works. Is that the punishment is worse than the crime? You kill someone, you get death. You blind someone, you have your eye taken out, or both. It's meant to be a deterrent, isn't it? But it doesn't work. So we still do it. That's
it, isn't it?
You know, America's got death. Well, America has a certain amount of states have the death penalty in, but you know, they still have more serial killers per capita than any other country.
Yeah. More murders,
but you know, Washington is a murder capital of the fucking US.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's terrible. It's you know, it's murders every night, but
and they've got
harsher prison sentences. So it's you got to look at it again. You've always got to come back to education. The more educated someone is, less likely they are to commit a crime.
Yeah, less in poverty they are. Commit violent crimes. I mean, probably going to commit white collar crimes, but.
Well, you can't. Of course, that's my sweeping generalisation because you always get dickheads, you always get thieves even amongst the upper class. Look at the ones who are ruling us now. Look at Boris, they're thieves, they're all thieves.
Well, see, I'm living in a kleptocracy. Kleptocratic, oligarchic, kakistocracy.
A kakistocracy?
Yeah, it's the worst among us rule us, that is.
Moving on to the Queen. She's got a secret booze tunnel underneath the palace leading to one of London's top bars.
Good for her.
Well, she's the Queen.
I'd imagine that was actually built by King George III. He built Buckingham Palace as a London sort of getaway.
Yeah.
And he probably built tunnels and shit because he was university hated, so he wouldn't want to go out in the streets.
So, The Sun has reportedly stated that the remarkable claim was made by Jack Brooksbank, who suggested there was a tunnel beneath one of Her Majesty's palaces to allow the members of the royal family to discreetly travel to the cocktail bar. Mr. Brooksbank apparently shared the information with the Daily Mail's royal editor, Richard Eden, at a party sponsored by his drinks brand, Casamigos.
Oh, it's no El Bandito.
It's no El Bandido that's I'm on this evening. Mr. Eden claimed that Brooksbank said there is one to the Duke's bar from the St James's Palace. Imagine that. Just slipping underneath the old tunnel.
She's meant to stop drinking now, though, the Queen, for health reasons.
She was seen driving about the other day, wasn't she?
She was, yeah. It's a weird thing that because she drove during the war, she never got a driving licence. But she was driving ambulances and trucks and stuff.
Right.
And because she never got a driving licence, she can't drive on the roads, but she can drive on her own estates. That's the law. You can drive. It's private land. You can drive on it, whether you got a licence or not.
Yeah.
So she's always driving around on there.
She's got enough fucking land, hasn't she?
Well, that's it.
There's a picture here of the Queen sipping a drink in a tunnel with what looks like a leading sort of what's that? The bar.
A support rail, a guide rail,
all the way down the side.
I'm willing to bet that number one, there's a little bloke on a mini cart that pulls up.
Do you think?
Yeah. If they wanted to use it, yes. Wouldn't walk. And number two, it would be lined with portraits and classical music playing and drapes and stuff. It's probably part of their fucking bomb shelter.
Nah, I'd like to think the royals staggering along that old
singing a song.
Yeah, show me the way to go.
Yeah. Vomiting halfway down it.
Yeah, I'll just clean that up for you, madam.
You do that, sunshine. You're a good boy.
So the bar that it goes from, the Duke's Bar, is famous for its legendary martini and described by the New York Times as one of the world's best.
Yes, it's in the exclusive Duke's Hotel in Mayfair.
Oh, crikey.
I think I've walked through there.
Have you?
Yeah. If that's where the Ritz and stuff is, yeah, I've been through that. There's fucking Lamborghinis and Bentleys
parked outside. That's all you'll ever be able to do is walk outside, mate.
I did walk inside briefly.
They chuck you out.
Some guy came towards me, but I just sort of had a look and then I went back through the door. There's a revolving door.
Them places are not for you and me, mate.
And I looked very much like a tourist. You know, rucksack on, waterproof.
You're never getting in there.
I could have got in there if I had the money.
You haven't got the money, have you?
No, because I could have sat down and had a high tea for 80 quid, some cakes and some tea.
80 quid.
Yes, well, that was a few years ago. A mate of mine went down there. He's a Londoner, an East Ender. They treated his granddad, his 90th birthday, to high tea in the Ritz. It was like 80 quid.
Nice. I went to one of there's loads of Hiltons over London.
Well, that's not including drinks, by the way. That was rum and coke was 10 quid. He went to the pub over the road in the end.
I got a nice Groupon at one of the Hiltons, 15 quid. It had a little champagne to start and then afternoon tea, 15 quid each. Happy days.
Claire's diary with the rich and famous. I'm getting a new Breeds chippy. What's going on?
There's loads of Hiltons all over London. It's not anything special, is it?
And Pret-a-Manger's, and every fucking corner there's a Pret.
Pret.
Fucking hate Pret. When I find a Mackey's in central London, you got no chance. I want a Pret, fucking every corner. Twats.
Never been.
You've been to London?
I've never been to Pret.
No, I've never been to Pret-a-Manger either, but I don't want to. Sounds pretentious to begin with.
With the Pret. I'm doing a selfie in Pret.
Yeah, it sounds pretentious. I don't like it.
I got good greasy spoons. I do greasy cafe.
Well, that's mixing with the common folk, Mike?
Cup of tea with your all-day breakfast.
This is just heart attack material for 2 quid. Where are you living at? I can fully believe there's a secret booze tunnel. I can fully believe it. Either bringing drinks in or getting royals out.
Smuggling fucking, what's it called, in for Andrew.
I don't know what
Kids,
treating the commoners, do they?
Well, no, it was built by like George III that he'd have one because he was hated. So him travelling through the streets would have resulted in his carriage getting pelted.
Oh, there'd be a stabbing in the air, wouldn't there?
There would be. I'm guessing that it's a really old tunnel.
It's a necessity, really.
Well, you can't have the royalty mixing with the hoi polloi, can you?
No.
Going through the streets. Like commoners have their own tunnel. But I still like to imagine the Queen staggering back through it, pissed as fuck. Show me the way to go home. Vomiting. Traffic coning around.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I think that's the end of it. So let's call it a night. I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. What should we say tonight?
You're not going to get mine because I've already thought of it.
No. You know what? JFK Jr. is not coming back and he's not Keith Richards. There you go.
I'm Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Just because you've got the t-shirt doesn't mean it's real.
Oh, philosophical.